Man, man, it's crazy. Do you know that in the course of living with no roof over my head, do you know that in the course of being kicked out by family members for using one cup the whole entire time, do you know that being kicked out and talking to friends who constantly let you down, who constantly leave you in holes, who constantly leave you to be buried, do you know that out of all of that, you still have the strength to overcome the things that you've overcome, just like I did? Let me tell you something. In the midst of all these things, I built a gadget. I built something for people who don't have anything sort of like this. Also, it's in a perfect little price point. It's in a price point in which people have to confuse the price with something else, and then have to conform to the fact that what I've made is in fact superior. Why? Because it's smaller, it's compact. Why? Because it doesn't take that long to make. Why? Because there are people who have these types of ailments. Why? Because there are people who need stuff like this and they don't have anything like that. Why? Because I didn't make it. Yeah, that silence speaks a lot. You know why? Because I used to say, okay, why aren't new things coming out? Why aren't new things being developed? Then I had to sit there and wait. And I was like, okay, well, maybe Walmart might have it on the shelves. Maybe Costco might have it on the shelves. Maybe I might have to go to some tech place to go ahead and, see if they'll go ahead and have something like that. They don't have these types of things. Do you know that it's almost like a gate for the fact that technology is only really centered around medical centers? Do you know that tech places such as PC places, and I guess this is just what I think, right? So in the midst of all these things, you have to wonder, just like I did, how long does it take for something to come out? Sometimes it's waiting on you to build it. It's waiting on you. Some of these places, their scope isn't on fixing an issue. A lot of these places are trying to keep up with the things that they already have going. This is why I like to inspire others, because if we don't have these things, they might not come into fruition. I'm not sitting here talking and want you guys to think that I'm mad or anything. No, I just have a lot of passion and it comes out like this. I got a lot of passion. And like I said, I'm excited, and with how I'm feeling right now. It's impossible it's impervious for me to sit there and smile and say, you know what, this is cool. This is something that's out there. You know what? I'm still being muffled. I'm still being shadow banned. I'm still being all these things. And I don't have friends out here to sit up there and go ahead and talk to me and give me uplifting words. I'm not really getting that type of encouragement from family members. I'm not getting that support from friends. I'm not getting that support from my peers. And that's all okay, bro. It's all okay. You're going to go through life and you're going to sit there and wonder and think about how many times you sat up there and helped other people and what it is that can be reciprocated in terms of what you need for help. Sometimes they don't want to do it. It's okay. It's perfectly okay. This isn't something to talk about other people, but what I'm talking about is the direction in which, if you want to see something, sometimes it's waiting on you to build it. And that's all that I'm trying to say. This, like I said, I had to stop the matrix and look and say, you know what? Let me just be appreciative of these things that I'm going through every single day. The hurt, the happiness, the wallow, whatever was happening at the time. I had to just embrace it. Instead of trying to go and say, you know what, I'm gonna hold on till Friday because it's the end of the week, and I can get my check and I'm excited and I'm happy. Yeah, like everybody's excited when they have freedom. Okay, everybody's excited when they have some type of financial freedom, financial or freedom of literacy, freedom of speech, freedom of thinking. Any type of freedom. People are going to be there. You're going to have a cluster of people who are there. It takes more than just seeing something that should be done. You have to, there's a mode that happens. You have to be okay with things where they're at, and then notice something and say, you know what, I'm going to take action on it. That's what I did. I didn't just say, okay, this is what something that needs to be made. Let me go ahead and dip into it. No, I did a lot of research. I looked up a lot of patent information. I looked up a lot of copyright information. I did research on how businesses are made, the steps and stages of business, which stages you should be going in, which stages you should be qualifying for, depending on your knowledge of business, not what stage you think you should be. And a lot of these gurus, a lot of these people online, and I'm not bashing any of their programs or anything they got, but a lot of people tell you to start LLCs, and sometimes you are not ready for an LLC. Sometimes you are not ready for these things. And I'm not speaking from just where I'm at in position and all this stuff. No, you got to listen to what's being said. For example, a lot of these things that you're listening to, they tell you to keep your business in the dark. A lot of those people who are trying to find me and do all this stuff, some of those people who want to come and deter me from the path, they're having problems finding my website, not my website, but my business, and trying to do all this stuff in the back end. You know why? Because I kept it private, kept it like that on purpose. Like I said, you grow in the way that you grow. You don't grow in the way that other people are growing. Don't do that. This is why I'm able to speak to you with the fluidity and freedom of expression that I have. Most most of the time when I'm going ahead and I'm trying to make these videos, I have a lot of people around me who are exposed to what I'm doing, and that's not necessarily an issue for me, but they do live their own lives. So you will hear audio in the background. You will hear some type of ambience happening. You will hear doors shut in. Why? Because there are people who are out here looking at what I'm doing. Sometimes they don't really want to even hear about what I'm doing. They'll ask me questions, I'll start speaking, and they tune out. It's about being in the know and being around that type of energy. You gotta learn how to like piece that like separate it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is how these people want to interact. Let them interact like that. If these people want to interact a certain way, you allow them to go ahead and do that. Like I said, for me, my thing was, I got tired of seeing the same things. I got tired of just going and being one of the best employees at work and still getting shit on. Like, you ever been fired for being amazing? Okay, I just want to let that sink in. So, a lot of times we have people who, and myself, who would work and then we'd switch jobs simply because it wasn't enough, or you were getting treated and you spoke up about it and it didn't pan out, right? Nobody heard you and the harassment still continued. Some of these places where you work out, where you go, they'll already have a harassment thing already that just happened, and you'll go in there and you'll be all fresh and nice and neat and talk to people with be all cordial and whatnot, and you'll still end up being harassed right after that incident just happened. You speak up, you speak out about it, nothing happens. There's a lot of nothing that's happening, okay? There's a lot of nothing that's happening. If you are one of these people who can understand what I'm saying, I need you to tune in and understand that a lot of these people, they just want to relax, and that's okay, like I said, but things got to get done. We can't just keep continuing to pass off the responsibility to somebody else just because it's not something that you didn't get the sign off for it to do it. Do it, and then press the sign off. Press that sign off because you already did your job. These people don't like to be pressed. People are like, oh, Aaron, you sometimes, yeah, that's right, my name's Aaron. Some people are like, oh, Aaron, well, we just didn't know how you would respond to that. And, you guys got a lot of confidence saying all this stuff out the side of your neck and saying how you feel. But when it comes to communicating something to one another, you got a real big problem with that. Okay. When people who need something or require something, we have no problem coming and talking to the rest of people. But when we notice that you start to leave holes and gaps and not be reliable and all these things, we take it as you trying to show somebody something. If you want to show somebody something, how about we show you that you was never a pawn or a piece in the game to begin with, and there was an opportunity that was offered to you. How many times have people who've known exactly how to fix a situation sat back and said, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and let them do it because they're not listening. They're actually not listening. And you know what? At this point, I'm a part of the ride. I'm down for it. And you stick around and you go for it. And it starts to work a little bit. And then they run into the problem that you just was explaining to them before you guys even decided to go on that, before you guys decided to even go on that program. A lot of voices aren't heard, man. A lot of voices aren't heard, Miss Lady. They're not heard. And with me and what I'm doing, my voice and my things that I make, sorry, let me excuse myself. The things that are made and shown on Ask A Signs are for the people. Don't get that mixed up. I am a for-profit business. AskASigns.com is a for-profit, is for profit. Why? Because I'm not a person who likes to ask for handouts. I'm gonna go make it work. You talk about, like, there's a lot of gurus, and like I said, my channel, my business is to help inspire creators, doers, artists, and anybody who's trying to get something off the ground. Because I'm letting you know, through empowerment, you got it. You see how my hair is? I haven't been the body, my body. I have totally just stopped caring about it during the time that I've been making this gadget. Why? Because I know the severity of what it brings. I've totally just abandoned all of it. But because it is where it is, I know that, you know what, now I can start throwing life back into myself. I can start grabbing and eating all types of things. I can start knuckling down on the hygiene even more. I can start knuckling down on it. Why? Because now I have something. You may see it as an asset. A lot of people see it as an asset, or a hindrance or whatever. I see it as an option. Okay, I see it as an option for those who don't have options. Is that not what commerce is about? Is that not what being a merchant is about? Is having different offering options? I haven't made a video this long talking about what it is that I do. Why? Because I'm going about it very strategic. You can say, oh, he's not pushing out this and this and this. Well, you know what? When it comes to asking questions of people who think about new products and all this stuff, I'm going to give you a tip. You can go to the motherfucking bus station and ask people about stuff that you made. You can go to the mall. You can walk down the street. You can talk to people who, you can ride. Let me tell you this. You can ride the bus and get a whole group of people who can't even leave. Okay? There's a lot of things that you can do. And if you don't take the time or the opportunity to think outside the box, then you are only going to think inside the box. I'm here to tell you, don't think inside their box. Why? Because your box is just the foundation. You got airflow, baby. You got airflow all throughout that. Like I said, I'm not here to go ahead and bring nobody down. I'm trying to help you understand, and like I said, perception, you know what I mean? Get that perception so then you can look at life a little different through a different lens. One of my first videos that I made was understanding that everything that we interact with, somebody's then made. This phone, my shirt, the car that I'm in, the table, clamps, wrenches, everything that you use, somebody made it and pushed it and marketed it. To have a whole population of people who are under the guise of a few employees and we are feeling like we can't do nothing or anything like that. No, I don't agree with it. So I became a creator. I became a business owner. I didn't do this just for funds. I didn't do this, to be honest with you guys, like I have been this whole entire time. I actually started doing this for my children. Crazy part is I don't even have no children yet, but I don't have a lady. I don't have any children yet. But the reason why I did this is so that they can look and know that their father, know that their parent or somebody was out there fighting, making, creating, and going ahead and trying to do something, and also teach and educate the ones who come after me, and give them the courage and motivation to say, you know what? I see what he did. I see what he did. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and change something up, because I've been thinking about this one project for a while. right? I want the things that I make to inspire anyone who's using it to say and have that thought of, oh, I wonder if I could do this with that. And the times that I was showcasing and having community feedback, they did exactly what I wanted them to do. Exactly. They put it on and I said, hey, you can hold this and this and this. And then I had an object up there that I didn't say nothing about. Old boy started talking to me. His wife started talking to me. And then she took over the conversation. I was just listening, right? He puts on the device, straps it on, and then casually reaches for something. I didn't even tell him he could lock it in. I didn't tell him he could grab any of this stuff. I just say, hey, this is what you could put on. He was motivated enough to go ahead and grab a big old a ladle and put it inside of the Triage Tri-Hold. Do you know what his feedback was? He said it would be really cool if it would turn. If it could turn and lock. That was all he said. Didn't say it was bad or anything. He actually enjoyed it. He just said it'd be really cool if it could turn and lock. And what happened? His wife pulled him extra fast and was like, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. Like, and she was trying to say it all low and nonchalant. But knowing the person that I am, I already picked it up. And my thing is, I'm not there to sell nobody. I'm there to let you know, hey, this is something that is out there and it's an option. Turns out their son might need it, but that's a whole nother conversation. Second thing, when you make stuff, make sure that you feel good about it. Make sure you feel absolutely wonderful about what it is that you make, because as I've said before, there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to talk to you about it. Why? Because they don't really see the fact that it can scale or that there's options for you once you have it done. So my best piece of advice is to go ahead and create. You're going to have people look at your stuff. As an artist, as a person who creates, you need to be comfortable with people looking at your stuff. Now, there are some things that you might need to tweak because a lot of people are used to certain things. So you have to switch it up and kind of adjust it to the population, or not the population, but the masses of people who frequently buy things like that. Okay. First off, like I said, if it's yours, you can make it as creative. You can be as creative as you want, have that creative expression as much as you want. But if you're going into a market, make sure that it has certain things. Do your research. Look at how your product can fail if it is going to fail. Look at how it's made. If you need to go through toll manufacturing, go and do toll manufacturing. If you just need to have a contract manufacturer and do something like that, go through what you need. Businesses can be made. You could cut grass and then sell it. Like I said, my thing is to inspire you guys. I've been saying the same thing over my videos over and 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 over. The best thing that you need to listen to is the fact that the things that I keep saying and that's the one thing I got to get out of. Okay. The things that are sold at AskASigns.com are meant to inspire you. So just as that dude did, how he got inspired and motivated to say, ooh, I wonder if I could put this in there and it would work. That same exact thing happened with another lady. She said, oh, you know what would be awesome? If it had a little bit more weight, because then you'd be right in the market of, she said another spot. And my response to her was, we can make it weighted. You can also apply weights around there and just have weight on your arm yourself. Like, a lot of people want to be treated and cared for and catered to. And sometimes they just need that little bit of motivation to say, I can do this. If I had something sort of like this, I can do this. So by me providing something like this, she walked away with a smile, and she walked away knowing that she could tell her daughter of something that is beneficial. Okay. This is a long video. Like I said, this is one of the longest videos I've ever made. There are going to be more, but I need you to understand This is not for somebody who's looking for compliments. This is, you know, we don't, an artist doesn't do something for compliments. They don't do something for likes. They don't do something for love. It's a form of self-expression. Okay, so go express yourself, have fun, keep going, keep going. Remember, critique your own work, and also remember how to hold that. Okay, I'm happy that you guys are here with me watching the journey. I don't care if this video gets 0 or 1,000,000 likes, but a million, 0 or 1,000,000 views, it don't matter. This is one long shot video, long form content. I'm here to press it out for you and make it transparent. Okay, like I said, Ask K Signs, we empower people, and that's it. I ain't gonna hold you no more. Have a great day. Keep going. Keep going. Bless you all.